Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? I hope you can hear me. Can you all hear me? That would be amazing. How are you all? Hi, Aaron. Hi, Spuff. Yes, you can. Very good. How are you all doing? You doing all right? Nayuki, hi. Hello. How are you? Have you slept a bit? Just got a book, mail, and a Walmart delivery. What did you get in your Walmart delivery, and what book did you get? Oh, music. The music is starting. I hope you can hear that too. I hope it's not too loud. I can turn it down if it's too loud. Just tell me. You have not slept yet? Oh no. Oh, you're doing snow cleanup. Hi, Me. Hi, how are you? Do you have much snow where you are? We have a bit still, which is very uncommon for where I live, actually. It's very cold. Very, very cold. House Stuff and Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Brandon Sanderson is, I think, a very good author. I don't think I've ever actually read anything by him. What is snow? Yeah. About 6 inches, but very heavy wet snow. You know, I don't know how much 6 inches is. I would have to look that up. We don't have very wet snow here. We have like the pulvery kind, which is also very nice, but not good for making snowballs or snow angels. Really snowy. Everything melts in the next couple of days. Yeah, I think at the start of next week it's gonna get a bit warmer here, so I have no idea how long that snow will stay. It will probably be super wet and freeze over, and then I'm gonna fall on my ass when I walk the dog. I know there's always an inappropriate joke in what I say. It happens. I'm sorry. You know, it's 15. Oh, that is a lot, actually. 15 centimeters is just some. You are so mean to me. Why am I friends with you guys? Hi, Haris. Hi. I always miss you, Haris. I always do. How are you doing tonight? Did I give a date for Hades 2? I'm sorry, I don't think I answered that question. I don't think they did. I don't remember one from the trailer, at least. I think it was 2023 though, right? But I might be wrong about that. We're siblings. I mean, that's true. We are siblings. Okay, don't question it. All right, I'm just gonna not. Izzy, hi, Mr. President. Wait, am I Mr. President? Dear Mr. President. No date yet, but early. Oh yeah, right. It's gonna be an early access first. I think the first Hades was as well, right? And I think it's only gonna be on PC first, and then when the 1.0 hits, it's gonna go on consoles too. Is that right? Do I have that right? You have the wrong account? Okay. Now I'm afraid. Indy! Ah! That was you? Why are you calling me Mr. President? Oh, you're really sick. I'm so sorry to hear that. Hope you feel better soon. I was very sick last week. That was not fun. Izzy Hain. Exactly, Izzy Hain. Why do you have an account that's called Izzy? Sarah! Hi, Sarah! So I'm guessing most everyone is probably excited for Hades 2 then, most, from the Game Awards. At least in terms of indie games, I would assume. Because we also got a trailer for Jedi Survivor, and I personally am very excited for that. I mean, you can probably tell, maybe. Mary! Hi, Mary! I have more motivation to finish the first one. Yeah, I cannot play those games. Hades, there's just too much going on screen. It's like Smash Brothers. I tried playing Smash Brothers with Indie, and you can ask them. I'm not made for those kinds of games where so much is happening. Hades is very fun. I also think it's a very extremely good looking game, and it's very good mechanic wise. It feels very fluid, but I just cannot. You played Jedi Academy? Sure did. But it's been a while. Don't ask me anything about it. I'm heartbroken with the Horizon Forbidden West DLC. I'm just done getting all the trophies and we'll have to play it again. Do you think you will have to play the whole game again? You can probably just do the new achievements though. I would pay good hard money to watch you play Vampire Survivors. I would just die. What would be the fun in that? I would just be dead. Excited for the BioShock successor. But does that count as indie? It's not an indie studio. I think it's a studio under Take-Two, if I'm not mistaken, because I did Google that. Judas, but that did look good. It also just looked like BioShock with another art style, I think. But BioShock is a good series, so I'm not against it. There's a big mod release for it recently that overhauls everything. You mean for Jedi Academy, for like graphics and story, maybe? Because I don't remember much of the story, to be completely honest. Oh no, Mary, I'm so sorry. I mean, it is a fun picture, in my opinion. Rush from Jedi Academy is Lile's spirit animal. I mean, he was a bit different than how I played him, to be fair. Just the DLC, but still. BioShock Baby does look good. It does. I think there should be a remake of Star Wars Dark Forces. I haven't played those ones. Indie has, though. They always say they are very good. I grabbed the Vampire Survivors DLC earlier. Today was the first time I've gamed in a week or so. Aww! I hope you had fun with it, though. I always hear good stuff about Vampire Survivors, but I know that game would just overwhelm my brain in 2 seconds. Aw, even though you're sick, you're here. Thanks, Reese. Thanks. Dark Forces! The audiobooks are so much better than the video games, though. You started Other Side. Is that a game? I think we've talked about that before. Right, Aaron? Burned my finger. Why did you burn your finger? I cut my finger yesterday. That bled like a pig. I bled a lot from that tiny wound. Lego Star Wars is the only one we need. I'm napping and finishing Throne of Glass. I think we talked about Other Side, but I can't remember what it was. Tell me again what kind of game it is. Just more customization options, more character models, a lot new details. I already played it twice, so 3D run would be repetitive. I mean, it's been a while since I played that game, so maybe if a new mod brought new stuff in, I actually might check it out again. I do have like a ton of Star Wars games on Steam because they just throw them out every once in a while in a bundle. I made naan from scratch and the pinches were far away, but I had to flip it. Why, Sarah? But why? Just reach for them. The worst book I've read this year was a Star Wars audiobook, turn-based XCOM Lite. What? You've read a Star Wars book that was turn-based? Let's Play of Lego Star Wars, but it's actually someone just filming their kid playing with Lego and asking them to narrate what's going on. That would be a wild ride. That would be a wild ride, and I would watch it. I would. It's a coincidence. I also cut my finger pretty badly a couple of weeks ago. I think that's just that happens. I cut my finger on like the where my dog's food is in like a can, and I cut myself on the edge and it really bled. It's not like Dark Forces are good books per se. Yeah, I mean the Star Wars audiobooks are like a lot of them are really, really good, I think. If they are like made like radio plays and stuff. Now to find a child to buy for cheap though. Wow. Wow. That's where your mind goes, buying children. My problem-solving skills only work in escape rooms. I mean, mine don't. I'm very bad at escape rooms. I think I'm also not allowed to go in one anymore, so there is that. Death Troopers was trash. Only because of the cameo. Guys, watch this, I don't... I do love indie games, but I also talk about AAA titles, just not so much on my channel. Other Side is a turn-based game. Oh yeah, right. I remember. I know people who make them. Maybe they give me a discount. Wow! You found each other, I think. Do they make Star Wars audio dramas? They do. A lot of them, I think. I know that all of the Thrawn books, those are audio dramas as far as I know. Finger burned. I mean, we could exchange fingers, but then we'll still both have a finger that's hurting. So I don't think that's a good idea. As long as I don't have to work for it, everything is nice. I mean, you usually do have to do some work for children, for having children. Yeah, as heirs of the Empire. I think that is the Thrawn thing, right? I wasn't that thrilled about Judas despite having nostalgia about BioShock, but when I read up about it, there was something that sold me, like they want to go unique with characters. In what sense unique with characters? I haven't read up about it at all. I've just seen the trailer, I think. Exchange fingers. That's what they said. All of them. Exchange all our fingers. Heirs of the Empire is Thrawn, yeah. Someone actually gifted me. I never opened it, but as an audio drama, I'd be in. I did read them. I think I read all 3. For how famous they are, I don't think they are that super good. Indie, you do have the audio dramas for those, right? Am I mistaken? Generally, though, I get a little frustrated with books and franchises when the books aren't canon. I mean, they used to be, and then Disney came along. I think I prefer Star Wars books as audiobooks. I have too many physical to be read books to bog myself down with them. Yeah, I can imagine that. What's your next plan on YouTube? I'm tomorrow... There's gonna be finally the review for Somerville. I've been sitting on that for a month and finally finished it. And then next week I hope I can finish it before I have to leave for the holidays. A video about my top 5 indie games in 2022. And I'm really looking forward to that video, making that video. There's been just so much good stuff this year. For how much people are complaining that this year was really light on good games, there were just like a lot. In my opinion, there were a lot of really, really good indie titles. From what I read, the plot will have you team up with end tags. Sounds like they have some complex interactions going on, like betrayals, romance. So that's where the name Judas comes from. It does sound fun. As I said, I'm not against the I'm not against Judas at all. I just from looking at it, it just really looked like BioShock, just with a different art style. But if they evolve the formula, I'm all for it. I don't know if I'm ever gonna play it, but I'm definitely gonna watch someone else play it. I have both the books and the audio dramas. They're okay. I have friends who adore them, though, and I respect that. The Judas guys have been working on evolving narrative experience in action games. I followed their dev blog for a long time, years ago, and they've been scrapping and making stuff. I'm all for evolving narrative experiences, because I kind of feel like in AAA titles, I feel like we kind of hit a dead end with open worlds and the narrative that has to be stretched over maybe like 30 hours. And I don't play JRPGs, so I don't know how their narrative structure works, but I feel like for the Western games, it's kind of been not enough story for the gameplay time you have, and then it just drags on. And that's kind of why I gravitated so much towards AA and indie games this last year, because like a narrative experience that's only a couple hours long, but it's at least cohesive, I like that much more than the drawn out open world story that is actually also only told in maybe 6 hours, but you have gameplay time of 20 hours in between. So if you need thumbnails, I can work tomorrow, then vacay. Oh, I've already done it. I didn't want you. I just wanted you to rest, because I know you didn't have a good week and you were going on vacation. It's totally fine. Returnal is coming to PC. I saw that. I kind of want to try it. On the other hand, there's also just a lot going on screen in Returnal, so I don't know. Not against Judas at all. Spoken like a true atheist. I mean, as an atheist, I don't believe that he existed, so... I'll read one by one message. You can always scroll up, Paris. I like your sweater, by the way. Thank you! It's really cute, isn't it? I really like this one. I barely wear it. I so rarely get the time. I think trying to read every single message in a stream chat is a lost cause when it gets really fast. Yeah, that's true. JRPGs manage to make story feels rushed even after 80 hours. They have much to say, much that I will forget, but much to say. I mean, like, when I watched the God of War, I watched the God of War Let's Play for Ragnarok. And they also had a lot to say, but I also feel like that some of it was just at points contrived to have something to say instead of actually taking the story forward. I like that they have these little stories that they tell on the boat and stuff, but there was also just like redundancy, and then they had like a fight or something that lasted like 5 minutes because they needed something in that particular mission to talk about, and then it was resolved after the mission, and that's just kind of, that's a storytelling I'm not really into, but maybe that's just me. I don't care that much about visuals, but very interested in new formulas. The open world have been messy indeed. The only open worlds that work for me are Bethesda's, but only in exploration. Yeah, the exploration in Bethesda games was usually quite fun, but the stories, yeah. I think we can all agree they aren't the strongest. My toxic trait is not enjoying short form storytelling. I want my media to go on for long. That's why I don't enjoy movies or short stories. I'm the opposite. I like a cohesive short experience so much more than like a drawn out. I mean, if it's good, I watch a series. I watch seasons of a series, but it has to engage me, and at one point, if there's just contrivances and fights that don't have to be there, I just get annoyed. So that's a day one buy from me. Judas, you mean? Belgium? Can you hear Sarah's accent? I was born in Germany. Yes. Why is YouTube saying you're currently playing Hades on this stream? I put in Hades. I put in Hades because I'm in the gaming category still, so I have to put a game in. That's why there's Hades. I'm 33. There's Hades 2 in the description. That too. If I don't know how long, what country? What? Honestly, I don't think I'll get to as many games next year, but I definitely think I'll be more likely to finish what I do play. I think I had 42 beat this year. I only had like 20, I think. I haven't finished that many games. I never do, I think. But I did finish a couple in like the last month or two. Returnal. Oh, Returnal. Yeah, you've been talking about Returnal, sorry. I watched Let's Plays of Returnal, and that always looked very fun. Redundant indeed. The thing is that God of War was never a franchise meant to be focused on story, so forcing it in that direction, trying to make a Witcher out of it, feels very forced. I don't know, I mean, I like the story that they are telling, I just think that the way they chose to tell it didn't fit very well with the formula, but I also think that about Assassin's Creed. I think that about everything that Bethesda does. I just don't think that the main story is strong enough for the 30 to 50 hours of gameplay they want you to spend. But that is just a very personal opinion. And I know that a lot of people really love those games, and for the gameplay too. So we'll see how much time I have between reading, gaming, and wanting to start painting minis. Like the painting minis thing, that doesn't connect with me at all. That's too much concentration on like tiny details that I can never make out with my eye. I will ignore that as an absolute hater of The Witcher. I only liked the third one, and I never finished the third one. That was also a game that was far too long for the story it was telling. Especially with the DLC. I think I shouldn't have bought it all and put the DLC before I finished the main game. I should not have done that. I hate The Witcher 3. The Witcher 2 is one of my favorite RPGs. I just remember... I don't remember much about The Witcher 2. To be completely honest. I think I played both. I think I played 1, 2, and then eventually 3. But I did like the third one the best. That had the most fun for me to be had. But I also haven't watched the TV series. But that's kind of what I was saying, like because the big AAA titles all have to hit like a certain mark in time, because they do cost so much, and they also cost a lot to develop, so people want value out of their out of the money they put in, and I completely understand that, but I always think that the stories never hold up to the game time. That also kind of goes for BioWare games too. I think, like, even with Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, I think to a degree, that was kind of what was happening there too, even though they don't have open worlds. Believe it or not, the first Witcher is the one I played the most. I lasted almost 2 hours. Amazing. The game is just so packed with twists and difficult choices. Plus, the idea with completely different second chapter isn't something any other game did. As I said, I don't remember too much about the second game, about Witcher 2. Witcher 4 is in development. It will definitely differ from the third game. Oh, Olpi, hi! Hello! Oh yes, I'm very good. No, you can practice your German. That's very cute. Thank you. Hello! With your preference on streamlined narratives, how do you approach your game mastering? Does that have any influence? What do you mean game mastering? I don't master games, I just play them. And then I'm done, usually. I think that's kind of why I like shorter experiences, too. I plan on playing the whole Witcher trilogy soon. I think you should wait for the remakes for 1 and 2, though. Especially 1 really doesn't hold up. Oh, you mean GMing. Okay, I'm sorry, TTRPGs. Honestly, I just kind of approach each game like I do have an idea of where I want certain characters to go and what I want them to experience, but I don't have a storyline in mind. And I think that's also a different form of... That's a collaborative experience in storytelling. And not so much it's not a scripted thing, you know what I mean? That is just different for me. Dave, hello Dave. I plan on, you know me, you know I won't do that. You should though, I think there's even controlling problems on Witcher 1 on PC, if I remember that right. So you really should wait for the remakes. By making characters I can kill whenever. And then they never go there and experience that. Yeah, that happens too. I mean, that's just part of GMing, I think. So you don't feel like you have a certain pace when doing it. Not really. I also haven't GM'd so much. Like, I've only done 2 Star Wars RPGs and a very, very short-lived D&D thing, so no, I don't have that yet. Maybe that'll come. I was a big fan of Tomb Raider. I'm not. I've only played the 2011? Was that when they did the reboot? Definitely not interested in anything from the Witcher franchise after 3, and especially after Cyberpunk. It's not even that the quality of their games is bad. There's too much scam in their policy. That too. I mean, that's true for any AAA, and I think also for a lot of the AA studios, to be fair. And I don't even think that's the fault of any developer. That's just management, I think, because they want to make money. Have you played Call of the Netherdeep? I don't know what Call of the Netherdeep is. That's probably a D&D campaign? But no, I have not. And I do not have an inkling to GM it. I also don't really like GMing D&D. I like Star Wars or Something shorter, like 10 candles, actually. But D&D, I like playing D&D. I don't really like GMing D&D. I do feel my tendency to let character moments linger, narratives come in slow, influences my DMing a lot. Lots of carrot on the stick for a long time. Yeah, I don't think I have enough experience to really give you an opinion on that, to be honest. Lyle keeps ranting about how Pokemon is a scam. Yeah, and I will stand by that. They released a completely broken game and people are throwing money at them for it. Like, CD Projekt Red was torn apart for Cyberpunk, and so should have Game Freak for the new Pokemon games. That is my opinion, and I will stand by it. New Tomb Raider trailer was seen E3. You think so? Is there gonna be another Tomb Raider? I have Call of the Netherdeep, and Lile's not allowed to read it. So, oh, that's the one that was written by Matt. I see. So I'm guessing maybe I will play that one. I have not yet, as far as I know. Pokemon Violet, aka Frame Rate Killer. Exactly. I played the Tomb Raider Underworld a long time ago. I think it's the best one. Yeah, I've only played like one Tomb Raider game. When they initially came out, did they only come... No, they were on PC too, right? They weren't just on PlayStation. But that was around a time I didn't really game, so I missed that whole era. I didn't buy the new Pokemon. The series kind of died for me with Arceus. Yeah, I mean... That is like the way people wanted the Pokemon games to go. Like, go bigger, go open world. Have a bit more to do. If it's not for you, I understand. I mean, I only finished one Pokemon game in my life and then never again. Anything died for me that is not like Arceus. Couldn't go back to the classic games. We played... Yeah, I know that it was the reboot, the first reboot they did. That was the one I played. Where tetanus was the thing that killed Lara. No, but it should have been tetanus that killed Lara. Arceus is much better looking than the new one. Yeah, I don't really have a comparison on that front. I just, like, the new one is completely broken and still... It's the best-selling Pokemon Nintendo game of all time, so... I want to play a new Pokemon game, but I keep playing Yellow over and over. Nostalgia's a stupid thing. Yellow wasn't even a good game. And I keep playing Ruby. Maybe I should go back to Blue. I think I had Blue. Maybe I should just play that again, and then it'll be fun. They removed the wound mechanic. I don't... I don't know what you guys are talking about, I think. I missed the plot. I have finished... Oh, Sarah! I have played Lake! Because it was gonna disappear from Game Pass, so I thought I would take the opportunity and play Lake. That was really chill. I like that game. And I drove off into the sunset with my gay love in the end. What are your decorations? That's Lego. Indy, what's that made of? You gave that to me. I don't know. Felt? Is that what it's called in English? I'm not quite sure. I made it of wool. Okay, it's wool. Sorry. Heard quite some rumors that the new Pokemon games were developed for Switch 2 initially, which got delayed significantly due to pandemic and chip shortages. You think so? I mean, they released 2 Pokemon games in 1 year. If they initially made it for another Switch, then they maybe should have just taken a little more time and finish it for the Switch they have. The best monster catching collection game I've played is Monster Sanctuary. I don't know that one. What is Monster Hunter? Is that also a catching collection game? Not really, right? That's like another kind of... Did you romance Angie in the lake? I sure did. Of course. What ending did you choose? I mean, I drove off with her into the sunset. What else is there? Lake is very cute. It was. I really like the music. I wish there were a few more tracks, but it was really cute. We can discuss Pokemon. I don't care. I can rant about it. I like it. My co-worker is trying to tempt me into making resin art. Unfortunately, it gets pretty pricey. But I love the stuff I'm seeing made with it. Indie made dice with resin. You can ask them about it. Monster Hunter is different. Yeah, well, what's Monster Hunter? What kind of... Monster slaying. It's not monster catching. Kid games. The audacity. I'm very into escapism. Escapism? Young adult novels, all kids media as well. Come with me. Young adult novels are, yeah. The world is on fire. Take out any I can get. I make resin stuff too and I love it. Yeah, you're really good at it. It's expensive, yeah. You should really wear a mask. I've been telling you, you should really wear a mask, even if you only do it outside. I can't type okay, it is known. Oh, you meant escapism. Okay, I'm sorry. I honestly thought that was a word I didn't know. It's about hunting monster. Bah. There are quite a few monster catching simulations out there now. I survived my last relationship, so I think I'm officially immune to toxicity. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I felt really heartwarmed from how Lake handled romance. It's subtle. It was subtle. I really like that. I mean, it's very short. It's in normal circumstances, I think I would have just gone back to the city and continued that work. But I thought I'm only playing this once and I'm not passing up the chance to run away with my gay love. I'm not that old that I'd play Tom and Jerry. Depends on the YA. I've seen several horribly mislabeled as YA that were not. But I'm an equal opportunity reader. If it sounds good to me, I'll try it. Recently discovered spicy books. Are you reading erotica now? I mean, who hasn't? To be completely honest. Everyone who has read fanfic has read erotica. I promise. Ah. Clara, hello, shirt off? Shirt off? Like kids games, I only suggest the best one. Tom and Jerry are the best one. I mean, I always put spice on my books as well. I broke my own little rules today and listened to the first Murder Bot Diaries. I have no idea what that is. Murder Bot Diaries? Tell me what that is. Both you and Aaron, if you both know. I've completely fallen off reading books ever since I've worked in a bookshop. That was not the best experience for me, I think. That kind of ruined reading for a while. I just do nothing in my free time. Maybe play some games. Throne of Glass and Into the Drowning Deep. Throne of Glass I've heard a few times. That is YA, isn't it? Or is that fantasy? Both? Murder Bot Diaries are a bunch of short stories. The first one was basically about a little robot breaking itself free from its corrective program unit and learning to be a person supported by some humans. That's really cute. I'm so confused why BookTube is just talking about YA. There's only 30 somethings talking about YA, which is totally okay, but I'm surprised there's no booktube community about other literature. That's probably just because that's the one you see, since those are the ones that get the most views, I would imagine. Probably that and horror. That and Stephen King. I also feel like Meredith deserved love more than a career her age, even if it means becoming a hippie. Who was Meredith again? I don't remember. It's both Into the Drowning Deep is horror, killer mermaids, plus my worst fear of deep waters. Yay! YA is now geared towards 30-somethings, and teen is its own category. That might also be. Though the fact that her co-worker gets all the credit is bitter. Oh yeah, Meredith is the protagonist. Oh my god. You're totally right. Yeah, true, but I mean, he is kind of thankful, and he's also willing to give her a big increase in payment. And if she can live off of that and has to do 5 years of work, that would be a trade-off I think I would take. I don't know, the YA that I read after uni, since I studied YA in uni, and we read pretty cool stuff, was so bad. Yeah. It's what I think it's both. I think it's geared towards teens and adults, because I worked with... I'm Harry Styles? What? It's talking down to teens. I don't know. I think it's far too popular to make that statement. Like, I worked with adult women who read that stuff all day long. So I always thought it was bad too, but people are yeah, I block them. No worries. Problem with Monster Hunter is that you don't just hunt monsters, but spend hours upon hours to take down just one. That was basically the selling point of the franchise. Yeah, I mean, people love JRPGs. So that's what I get from that. I wouldn't want that either. Spend half an hour in turn-based combat. Sunday Gold was like the line for me. I wouldn't want any fight to go longer than those ones. Just ignore them. Yeah, I block them. I read From Blood and Ash. It's soap opera garbage and I love it. Like junk food. It's not good for me, but it was fun. Exactly. You put some monsters in your monsters. That's what we want. What was the one that everyone kept talking about? Like the monster catching one that was made like Nexomon? Was it called Nexomon? Has anyone played that? Really into tropey media. Big fan of Korean romance shows and fan fiction, but YA tropes usually just annoy me. Don't know. Maybe it's just those kids tropes. Kinds of tropes I don't like. I think that's the same for like everyone has tropes they love and everyone has tropes they cannot stand. And it depends on the individual what they like and what they don't like. That's why I think you can't say that YA isn't geared towards 30-somethings, because a lot of them really, really like that stuff. Not the turn-based. I know. It's not turn-based in Monster Hunter. I meant, like, JRPGs, you also spend a lot of time in fights, and a lot of them are turn-based. That's why I made the comparison. I know that that Monster Hunter is like real-time action and that you spend an hour just smashing the monster until it dies. Enemies to lovers in a Korean show. I suffer through anything to see it. Why a girl abducted and has to live with a faking who she hates. I'm running up that hill. Nice. I got sold to One Direction things when I was younger. What? That was a thing? Technically, you're wrong. I can finish Final Fantasy IX in less than 10 minutes. Fine. You can do that. Sounds like Shadow of the Colossus, but you get to keep the Colossus. Yeah, maybe. What's the worst game you regret playing the most? That's tough because I usually don't continue playing games that I really dislike. I just turn them off again. Ooh, what was the worst game that I regret playing? I don't know. What have I played that I've really regretted? I would have to think about that. Ask me again next time. Because I really, off the top of my head, I don't know. Self-insert fanfics of being sold to boy bands was a thing in the early 2010s. Wow. I mean, I knew that the One Direction thing was pretty big. You didn't play Tunguska. Yeah, that was you. I just watched you, and that was incredibly fun. For me, it's Ark Survival Evolved, and I got a friend into it. I'm ashamed of myself. Aww. But you are good at games. He really is good at games. I finished Track to Yomi. I really like Track to Yomi. I really liked that game. I enjoyed that one. Ark is a tough one for me as well. I want to love it, and I always go on and off about it and ask myself why I play it. I do regret finishing well, do I regret finishing Requiem? I really like that game. I do not regret playing the game. The Ark that is extremely bad in terms of mechanics and performance, but it's horribly addictive. I honestly don't know. Maybe I just haven't looked through my Steam library real quick. But as I said, I usually don't finish games that I think are bad. So I don't know. I don't know if there is a game that I really regret playing. There probably is, but I can't think of one. I really can't. I'm probably gonna say something, and that's gonna offend everyone. Let me have a look through my Steam library real quick. What did I regret playing? Lile regrets playing Mario Party. No, that's not true. You regret playing Mario Party with me. That's a different thing. I don't know. I don't know if I really can't tell you. I can say that the game I think I was most disappointed by in like the last year that I've played was Days Gone. I really hoped that game would fill like a bit of an open world void, but nah. That's kind of a regret of having bought the game, I think. There are people with 20k hours in it by now. I'm sure there are people, yeah, I can imagine. I would love to play Mario Party with you. Ask Indy, I don't think you would. Lyle doesn't say it, but she regrets playing Raft with me. I absolutely do not. I love playing Raft with you. It's so chill. That is also not true, Indy. That is so not true. So mean. With you and Indy. Didn't play online games with other people. Very rarely. Only something like Raft. Have you a nice game for the holidays in mind? I mean, I'm gonna be with family on the holidays. Not really. I haven't looked at what came out. I still want to do the Forest Quartet. I read it's only like about an hour long though, so I don't think that will keep me occupied for a long time. But I don't know. I rarely plan out my games in advance. I mean, I kind of do that more for the channel now. I'm very much looking forward to Blanc next year. If anyone has seen that, it's like with a deer and a little dog. It's so cute. It's like in black and white. It's so adorable. I'm really looking forward to playing that next year. What do you think about the Outlast multiplayer? Are you going to play that with people? What? There's an Outlast multiplayer? Days Gone is just another zombie game. I'm amazed how zombie game series and movies didn't make people bored out of their minds. This is cultural joke at this point. That's true, but I really like Sam Witwer. So I really hoped that he would bring something to the game that I would enjoy, but it didn't work. Maybe a sibling or 3? How do you not do that? We come from the same area and I needed to already download every game I want to play because otherwise I can't anymore. Yeah, sure, but I'm not gonna play anything while I'm with my parents. So I'm only gonna spend like a couple days there and then I'll be back here. I love Sam Witwer. That some families talk and interact with each other. Yeah, I will not have time for anything other than eating and talking to people and maybe sleeping. He's a walking vampire trope. Is he? I really like Sam Witwer though, so I really hoped he would make that game better, but yeah. I think Days Gone was kind of my big regret last year. Yes, he's Starkiller, exactly. That's him. Forgot some families talk and interact. You guys do that too. It is not impossible to get scared in multiplayer. I played Phasmophobia with friends and I freaked them out. You can ask them. But it is harder to do. It is harder to do in multiplayer, that's definitely true. I just want to see Lyle leap out of his skin. I knew you were gonna say that. Phasmophobia was so much fun with you. That's true, it really was. It was a lot of fun. We can play that again. I think there's a lot of extra stuff in there now. To when we played. Yes, you do have it too. We played it together, Aaron. Do you not remember that? When a Yuki died and we couldn't see his body. And then he just lay there. That was amazing. That was a really fun thing to do. But yeah, I get scared super easily, so I am afraid of everything. And Outlast would... I don't even know what that multiplayer is, but I would just freak. I know myself too much. Alrighty then. And I was with Lyle and she screamed so loud that you guys didn't hear me say I'm dying. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Yeah, I did that. I did. Alrighty, you guys, I think I'm gonna wind down. It's 8 now. Need to play more Payday. You never played JRPGs. Have I played one? I don't think so. I've only ever watched other people play it and I find it extremely boring. And that is not a dig on JRPGs. If you love JRPGs, go for it. It's just not a genre that I like. There are so many tropes in there I don't like. Yeah. It's just not for me. But it's a big market and I think it is that for a reason. That's kind of how I approach most games. There's gonna be someone who will love that game, no matter what other people think. But yeah, I'm gonna go wind down and go walk the doggo for last time today. Thank you so much for hanging out. That was so much fun. I will hopefully do that again next month if I have the time for it. I love you. Love you too. Wind the dog down. I don't think I have the power to do that. I kind of agree. They do get boring, but like I mentioned, yeah, there are probably a lot of JRPGs that are really, really good. So, what kind of dog? A Jack Russell Terrier. I have a little, but he's an old man. But I will go now. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye bye.